ago, I left social media. Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, profile after profile deleted. The decision to leave my online communities came at the culmination of some incredibly painful mental health lows. You see, I have depression. And the interactions that I experienced online and witnessed seemed to send that depression into depths I had not witnessed before. It was time to let it go. And as a communications and marketing professional, social media is literally a large chunk of my job description, so leaving was complicated and very tough. Worldwide, there are 3 billion users of social media. In the US, that's about 70% of adults on at least one platform. Look around the room. That's about every 3 out of 4 people. Go ahead, look around. Say hi to your neighbors. Because on behalf of Mark Zuckerberg's bank account and many financial real estate holdings, please say thank you for using social media. And if you are one of the few that are not on social media, congratulations for making it this long. I am very impressed. But I would bet that someone close to you is, perhaps a family, friend, or a partner. Whether we like it or not, social media is here. It's happening. And it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. But as social media use continues to grow, so do stories like mine. More and more people are participating in social media detoxes and cleanses, paring their use down to one app, or like me, quitting altogether. In my own experience with social media, I quit for what I thought was for good, but it lasted about a year. During that time, I found a lot of space, which is amazing because it's really incredible how much time you can find in your day when you're not checking Facebook 10,000 times. I climbed some mountains, both literally and figuratively. I found healthy ways to work with my depression, and I'm still continuing that work today. And I found something magical that changed the way I live my life. And I'm here to share a little bit of that magic with you today. It's called mindfulness. Mindfulness is the act of being fully present, noticing our thoughts, our feelings, and emotions, and bringing intentionality to each and every moment and action. Mindfulness is not new. We need to honor where it comes from. It's rooted in Buddhist teachings, and it's been around for thousands of years. It only took me 30 to find it, but I'm really glad that I did. Mindfulness has taught me to be a better person. I listen more carefully. I trust my inner voice and my abilities more fully. And I have found that when I come back to my breath in moments where my depression feels overwhelming, I center myself. It's a practice. When I started to consider rejoining social media, because yes, I did miss it. I am a proud millennial, what can I say? I live across the country from my siblings and my family, and they have lots of kids. I have 10 nieces and nephews. And the FOMO, aka fear of missing out, that I feel is real. So I miss that ability to connect to my community, to see those pictures of my nieces and nephews, and to also share my story. But I was worried. I didn't want to fall into the same patterns and habits that I had before that amplified my depressive symptoms. So what to do? And then, like a mini connect-the-dot puzzle in my brain, it clicked into place. Social media needs mindfulness. And if you're not quite having the epiphany moment that I had, that's okay, because I'm going to lay it out for you. Countless studies have been conducted on the impacts of social media. I would know because in preparation for today, I read 613 pages worth of research. So you're welcome. You didn't have to do that. I did it for you. One thing that came out, though, is that the research is incredibly conflicting. Some studies point to benefits such as an increased ability to feel empathy towards others. That's really great. Another points to an increase in overall well-being due to having a built-in support system in our times of crisis. But other studies show more concerning impacts, such as an increased use of social media leading to an increased feeling of social isolation and a decrease in self-esteem. Another study shows increased social media use leading to more depressive lows in folks with depression, and that really resonated for me. So, reading all this research, trying to find the common thread, one thing did emerge, and I'm here to share it in big giant letters with you because this is important. The impacts of social media, both negative and positive, seem to be impacted by how intentional we are when we use the platforms. More intention opens us up to the benefits, but less intention can open us up to those negative and harmful side effects. Intention, presence, conscious choices, aka mindfulness. Are you having that moment? No? Okay, it's all right. So, have you ever actually asked yourself how you want social media to show up in your life? I don't think many of us have. My idea that I'm sharing with you today is we need to make a conscious and clear choice for how we want to use these tools. I know that I had not asked myself this question before. So let's start now. Ask yourself, how do you want social media to show up in your life? And boom, mindfulness. You did it. Congratulations, the talk is over. Bye-bye. Yeah? No? Just kidding. As you laughed, you can get that. There are a couple more steps to this process, but to make it easy and accessible for you, I've created a handy, easy-to-remember tool for bringing mindfulness to your social media practices. Are you ready? Are you excited? Yeah? It's acronym time. We love acronyms. But this is going to be really handy. All you need to do is remember to mind. M-I-N-D. First up is take a moment. M. There are often times that I don't realize I'm looking at social media in the moment that I'm looking at it. I don't remember opening the app. I don't remember engaging. I'm looking through my feed. Taking a moment is about checking in with ourselves when we fall into those habits. If I actually did walk off this stage and you had 10 minutes or so of free time in your seats, how many of you would probably pull your phone out and check a social media feed? Almost all the hands. How many of you would probably check the feed, browse for a few minutes, put it away, and then moments later, even though you know nothing groundbreaking has happened in the world of your social media feed, you would pull that phone out and you would check it again, right? Laughter, yes. That's really common. You're not alone, obviously. We are all in it together. So taking a moment is about noticing in that situation what's going on. Pause and breathe. Taking a breath is so powerful. What are the reasons behind the action? Are you bored and trying to fill the space with distraction instead? Are you nervous and trying to just find something else to focus on like I was backstage just 10 minutes ago? That's okay. Just pause in the moment and breathe. If you pause and you decide, you know what, now is an amazing time to check up on Snapchat, great, wonderful for you, you get to move to the next step, which is intention. Intention is the juicy goodness of mindfulness, and it's all about those why questions that we asked earlier. For me, in my second time around with social media, because yes, I have rejoined the world of social media, my intention is crystal clear. My reasons is social media has enriched my understanding of my identities. As a person with depression, as a mixed person, a mixed woman, I have found a community online that I might not otherwise have found in my physical surroundings. They've enhanced how I understand my identities and who I am. And I want to put that back out into the world. I want to feed that goodness back out. That's my why. Once you find your why, intention also asks us to be practical and present. Set a time limit for how long you'd like to engage on social media. Yes, set a time limit. Before you pull out the app, set that intention. I'm going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to browse and I want to get this out of it. Be intentional about who you follow and why you follow them. Be intentional about what you post and why you are posting it. Set those intentions and jump into the app with some real purpose. Next up is N, or notice. Noticing is the core of a mindfulness practice. Noticing our thoughts, noticing our feelings. How are we showing up? What does our body feel like? That's mindfulness in action. That's a conscious presence, active piece. But oftentimes when we're engaging on social media, that active presence piece falls to the side. There have been times that I have been on Instagram and I catch myself jumping from one post to another and another and another until I realize I'm in bed in the middle of the night in the dark, being lit up by my phone screen like the Cheshire Cat's floating head in the middle of my bedroom. So I might have started the journey out as Alice, but I am so far from her because I'm looking at dance battle videos from random strangers. Like, what? How did we get here? And that's an actual research thing. It's called passive social media use. And it's one of those ways that we interact with social media that can actually lead to those negative and harmful impacts. To negate that, we must be active in our use of social media. And noticing is a way to re-engage that active presence. Check in with yourself and how you're feeling. Are you engaging and keeping to the time limit that you set for yourself? Have you fallen down your own rabbit hole intending to look through your cousin's party photos, and now somehow you're on Twitter personally invested in the reactions to the season finale of The Bachelor? You don't even watch that show. How did you get here? Notice, check back in, and check in again. When you fall down your own matrix, it's okay. Come back to your intention. Finally, the last letter in mind is about drop it. This is one area where I really struggled prior to my social media year-long blackout. I had a hard time walking away, and not just in the form of closing the app, but I noticed behavior in myself. When I would talk to people or I'd be in an experience, I was constantly looking at how to cultivate this into content. How Instagram-worthy is this moment? This is a pretty Instagram-worthy moment right now. I was always thinking that way. And so the final letter is not just about closing the app and putting it away, but also letting go of that constant pool that somehow we've created to cultivate content. Letting go of the need for validation in the form of likes and little hearts. That's a hard one, but letting it go. And letting go of any envy that might creep up when you see your friends' 6 tropical paradise vacation photos this year and it's only March, and do you ever freaking work? No, we're gonna drop it. It feels good, right? So yes, put the phone away, close the app out, rejoin the land of the 3-dimensional humans around you, silence the notifications, or better yet, turn them off altogether, put your imaginary blazer on because you're a boss, and you tell Facebook what to do. Facebook doesn't tell you what to do, you tell it. Those notifications and comments will still be there when you are ready. Now, 2 years later, after my social media hiatus, with mindfulness as my tool and mind in my brain, my experience with social media is really wonderful. I've found my intention, and I realized I don't need 8 apps. I just need one. I love Instagram, if you can't tell. And I feel like it's doing what it's meant to do. It's enhancing my life. It's building connection. It's allowing me to connect to those near and far. It's really wonderful now because I'm mindful about it. And it's not perfect. It's a practice. There are days where I fall back into the habits, but when I use mind and I come back to that place of intention and noticing and letting it go at some point, it really enhances my world. So let's wrap this up and put a nice bow on top. The next time you reach for your phone to post that outfit of the day on Instagram, to look through a friend's party photos or their vacation pictures, or tweet a witty and thorough review of your morning bagel because the world absolutely needs that, stop and take a moment and remember to mind. M, take that moment. I, set your intention. N, notice your thoughts, feelings, and how you are showing up. And at some point, please, drop it, because I promise you, we're all waiting for you. Thank you.